The use of ratings assumes, rather naively, that the definition of job performance is clear, that direct measures are available to assess the employee, and that evaluators are reasonably objective and exact. With the misguided conviction that objective criteria are possible, necessary, and desirable, precise imprecision is sought. This illusion of manageability encourages officials to believe that personnel can be manipulated to contain, correct, and/or reverse their behaviors if only they devote a little extra effort to their work. Yet regardless of the appraisal instrument used, a large number of well-known kinds of errors that we'll examine in this course occur in the process. The errors result from four primary causes: cognitive limitations, intentional manipulation, organizational influence, and human nature. When errors happen, and they're difficult to prevent, not only is the rater's judgment called into question, but also the resulting evaluation may leave the ratee unable to judge his or her own performance accurately. Cognitive information process theory maintains that appraisal is a complex memory task involving data acquisition, storage, retrieval, and analysis. To process data, people employ subjective categories that in turn produce no less than 6 problems. Thus, compatibility error, also known as similarity or linking error, is potent because both compatibility and ratings are person-focused. Indeed, as noted above, most employees believe that their supervisor's opinions of them influence evaluation. The second mental shortcut is the spillover effect, also known as the halo effect or the black mark effect, also known as the horn effect. That is, if the ratee does one thing exceptionally well, halo, or poorly, black market or horn, then that unfairly reflects on everything else he or she does. Third, the recency effect occurs when a major event has taken place just prior to the time of the evaluation and overshadows all other incidents. Fourth, contrast error exists when people are rated relative to other people instead of against performance standards. Fifth, outcome bias is the tendencies of raters to see the result of performance as the most important consideration in an evaluation, regardless of whether or not it was the consequence of the factors beyond the employee's control. Finally, actor or observer bias, partially alluded to earlier, occurs when subordinates, as actors, point to external factors to explain their weak performance, whereas supervisors, as observers, attribute that weak performance to the employee. The second general source of rating problems is that appraisals in many organizations are seen as political and not necessarily a rational exercise. Leniency error, also known as friendliness error or the Santa Claus effect, is the consequence of a desire to maintain good working relationships. Severity error, also known as the horns effect, may be present when an appraisal is used as a way to either to send a message to a good performer that some aspect of his or her work needs improvement, or to shock an average employee into higher performance. Error of central tendency, if not leniency, where nearly all employees are rated as satisfactory, if for no other reason than that the higher or lower scores may require time-consuming documentation. This error, in turn, is reinforced by the no money effect. That is, either there are insufficient funds to distribute, or they are awarded on an across-the-board basis. Third, conflicting role expectations are inherent in the appraisal process because evaluators must reconcile being helpful coaches with acting as critical judges. If these issues are successfully confronted and the evaluation and discipline process improved, then it may be more realistic to take such steps to reduce potential problems than to abolish personnel reviews altogether.